Yeah. Technical difficulties on the Boom Bap chat. Number 90, y'all. And you don't stop. What? What?
This week on the Boom Bap chat, we welcome Dillon. Hey, yo, Till. Yo, Maz. Let's start the show.
Yeah. Yes. Let's start it. Yo, peace, people. I am MC Till.
And I am Profound.
Yo, I am Oscar Rod.
And together we bring you the Boom Bap Chat number 90, unofficially sponsored by Everybody's Records. Come see us in Cincinnati, going over to Everybody's Records, get you some tapes, some vinyl, some CDs, some books, all kinds of good stuff. If you can't get here, go check them out online at everybody'srecords.com.
Yeah, and if you don't have a copy of our annual Boom Bap Review books, you can get all three for $30 at boombapreview.com. Hook it up.
And look out for our new book, The Native Tongues Review. It's coming out in May, so mark your calendars. And if you want to get the latest updates, all you got to do is just sign up for our monthly newsletter at boombapmonthly.com. All right, Till. All right, Pro. Let's start the show.
Let's start this show, everybody. Number 90. And our guest tonight, man, this dude is, I would say, one of the most engaging, most entertaining. How many more things can you say about this man? He's already got the sound effects going there. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the illest MCs, one of the dopest producers, runs a incredible dope label that puts out some of the freshest hip hop music. There it is, Full Plate. Ladies and gentlemen, join me as we welcome to the Boom Bap Chat, Dillon. There it is. Yeah, man.
I didn't know I was already in there.
We snuck
that
you in.
That could have gone a lot worse. So always judge a man by what he's doing when he doesn't know that he's being watched.
Right on. Hey, Dillon, man, before we jump into the show, peace. I just want to say, man, one of my heroes in hip hop is Biz Markie. I grew up listening to Biz Markie. And one of the things I loved about Biz Markie was his humor and just his inviting, nature of hip hop that he did. And his beats were just crazy too. And that's one thing that I really appreciate about you. We like to give flowers on the show. So I just want to thank you and appreciate you for bringing humor to your music and always having the freshest beats out there. So thank you for that, man.
Wow, man. Well, damn, that I don't know what fucking I gotta be funny now. That's love, man. Bismarck, rest in peace. That's one of my greatest influences. The Clown Prince of hip hop.
Yeah,
that's a crazy compliment, man.
Yeah,
wow,
man.
I'm honored. Respect.
Yeah, man. No doubt.
Thank
no
you.
doubt. Yeah,
Respect
man.
to y'all's work, man. Y'all are making books.
Yeah,
y'all are
man.
publishing. Y'all are doing the good work. Episode 90, bro. Respect
90.
y'all. Man, man. Much love and respect, man. It's unsung heroes.
Man, thank you, man.
No doubt.
Appreciate that. Much love.
Yeah.
Before I throw it over to Profound to ask you a lyrical question, it's the Boom Bap Chat. So we often like to ask our guests about that term, boom bap. And you make what I would say some of the best boom bap around. So when you hear that term, boom bap, what does that mean to you?
Okay, yeah. Well, it's a term very near and dear to my heart. I will say that it seemed like it's evolved to become like the flagship for like true school, I guess. Back when I'm 38, right? So when I was coming up in the late 90s, early 2000s, the true school was kind of what we called it. And then kind of like it became like real hip hop. And that's that can put some people off sometimes, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I feel like boom bap is kind of like the best term to like describe like, classically trained hip hop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I like that.
There's gonna be dusty drums and dusty samples and whatnot.
Yeah.
To me.
Yeah.
That's
but it's to not scare off people too much, because you're elitist.
For sure. And that's one reason I didn't like the term real hip hop. Because like who gets to decide what
at the
real
time it was necessary real. Because this shit had gone so far.
Right.
I get it.
Yeah.
But boom bap is the winner because it describes the music
Yeah.
like the actual music itself, and
Right.
the beats are the most. That's the foundation. The DJ, the beats, the production, the musicality.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Even for an MC, it should be the foundation. I think when it comes to your writing and approaching making songs, you know. So boom bap is that gives everybody a shot to be involved.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, speaking of the MC, we'll throw it over to Profound for the MC question.
Yeah,
Respect.
Dillon, we got all MCs here. So we was talking about me and Till was talking about this. Io, you can chime in too. What is, as an MC, when you want to get like, when you want to write something that may be, you know, I don't want to say super lyrical, but you want to write something that's a particular feeling. Is there a particular artist that you dive into? Like, for instance, for me, like I might go back and listen to Illmatic if I want to be super visual,
Right.
because I just want to get in that mode, and then I'll listen to like the whole album, turn it off, and then I'll get into my own space. So like,
No doubt.
who is that inspiration for you lyrically?
Man, I gotta be honest. Like I kind of listen because I'm a DJ too, and I'm a DJ by trade and by work. So I have to listen to a lot of music just because I have to. So I man, I go through phases of listening to rap because I don't want it to directly influence my writing and my rhymes. You know what I mean? Like, and so I'll listen to Silence a lot, or Miles Davis, or you know the beat that I'm working on. You know what I mean? Like, respect to my girl, because my house, it'll be the same beat for like 137 days straight. MCs, I know y'all what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
The little sound touch, so I can put it in any room. I'll be like, oh, we over here. Oh, this beat's still playing. Bro. We'll go on a road trip, 5 hours straight, dog.
Yo, hey Dillon, we did a beat like a beat battle at a record store, Everybody's Records actually, and it was kind of a different kind of beat battle. We like gave producers a sample, and then they had like an hour to like make a beat live on the spot, and this one, and so people got to hear the process.
Right.
What we forgot about is that oftentimes you just get that one loop and you play it over and over. So this producer had this one loop playing for like 45 minutes straight, and people in the store were like, "Can you guys cut that off?"
Yeah, nah, bro, this is hip hop, bro.
It's like, this is the process, man.
It's real. So that is a majority of my listening time, but I you know, there was a period in my, you know, years back, like writers that stopped me dead in my tracks would be Doom, you know, obviously, but I would get to the point where I could hear the influence, like I could see it, like in my cadence or in my punchlines, or like even my approach, like some certain references, or calling myself in the third person and shit. I'd be like, wait, that's some Doom shit. I gotta stop. You know what I mean? So then I would like chill out with that, and then it was Rock Mars who just cracked it open, and just everything became fair game, and just so you know, those were the two really that just kind of made me stop listening to rap while I'm making rap.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But I mean, recently, fucking Boldy James, dog, Rome Streets, Blue is another, like, man, yeah. There's some,
I like Blue.
You know,
Blue.
J Live is another incredible writer.
Absolutely.
I consider myself like a writer first, and I've definitely tried over the years to become a songwriter more than a rapper. Honestly, like I'm not gonna win like the Hot 16 or go on Hot 97 and like break the internet, unless this hair gets some shine. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to make like a good song, like just one good song.
Yeah.
Jesus, please.
What would you say in your mind is the difference between a good rapper and a good songwriter?
For me, I'm like a real strict. I like, you know, content, cohesiveness, and some other C word, consonants. to make that sound cool, like I had a whole plan before I came into this. But to me, that's kind of how I measure a verse in a song. Like, lyrically, was it put together real cleverly? Did it stay on topic? Did it start? Did it have a middle? Did it have an end? It's like an essay. You know, that's not very fun. And then, you know, the hooks are very hard. It is something that I was never good at. You know, I came up hating pop music,
Yeah, me
you know,
too.
and hating pop rappers and hating, like, you know, I was like underground. If I didn't have to, if this isn't a soliloquy, then you're killing me. You know? You know what I'm saying? Like, we were trying to be the most unorthodox, not a song at all. There was no metrics. There was no algorithm. There was no. We were trying to just Jackson Pollock, throw paint on the wall, fuck the song. Right? But now I'm like, oh, I see why they do that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So I think that to me, you know, Black Thought is one of the greatest living rappers and lyricists.
Yeah.
But he's not, you know, there's a different songwriting capability that comes from Nas. You know what I mean? Like, as far as the storytelling, and not that Black Thought can't do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Scarface, you know, there's certain, like, you don't have to be the most technical to write the best songs, you know?
Right. Yeah, totally.
So it's a certain way of, like, dumbing shit down too, or really, that's not the best way. Condensing. It's very difficult to say less. It's very difficult to simplify what you're trying to say and speak in plainer language that's more catchy or even just understandable. And like, if you can boil down like a complex idea into a funky rhyme or like a funky catchphrase, that's crazy songwriting skills, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
sure.
definitely.
No, I can co-sign that, because I was just thinking about this earlier. Like, I remember when KRS-One, you remember when Why Is That dropped?
Yep.
I remember, like, because my family wasn't religious, but they made us go to church though. And I remember like referencing those things in the Bible that Chris was talking about, and it just reminded me of a time when you listen to hip hop, you listen to Wu-Tang or Rakim, like you had to go grab a book to try to put some of that stuff together.
Yeah,
for real. I think that piece, I don't want to say that it's missing. It's not put in the forefront like it used to be.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I definitely will agree with you on that.
I agree. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you know, things evolve and change, and one of the things that we talk about a lot, and it's part of our DNA, is making sure that the community, you know, stays intact, and that we are always building community, you know, first and foremost. So I wanted to pass it over to Io Mas for a community question.
Yeah, like with your label, like thinking about your label, like what are the type of artists that you would like to have in your circle? You know what I mean? Like, to help you stay sharp as a producer, as a DJ, as an MC. Like, what are the caliber of MCs or artists do you like to have in your like community?
No doubt, man. Well, a caliber such as yourself, my friend.
Oh man, I appreciate it.
Enough respect. You know what I mean? But you know, Full Plate is a Jacksonville, Florida-based collective that was formed by me and my partner Peyton Locke. You know what I mean? Planet Locke, rest in peace. And so he was my mentor coming up in the Jacksonville scene. It's called Duval. If you watch football, you might know that's because Duval is the county. It's the largest city land-wise in the United States, Jacksonville, because it's one county, and it's Duval. That's why. And we don't really mess with Jackson like that. You know what I mean? So we call it Duval, and there you go. I'm sure Duval was on some shit too, but it sounds better. But yeah, so I mean, P. Locke was in a group called Asimov, right? And Asimov made noise coming out of Jacksonville. They were making noise up top you know, and you know, in the underground scene, early 2000s, in a way that nobody else was out of Jacksonville. And so they were really my heroes, and we started Full Plate together to kind of like make a home base for our clique. You know what I mean? Because basically, when I moved to Atlanta, I was on this label that was there at the time called ATF, a small Atlanta-based label. They had groups, Collective Efforts, Psyche Origami, and another group, Menomina Good Song. And we were the fourth. I was rapping with DJ Dirty Digits at the time. It was Intellect and Dirty Digits. That's what we were doing in like the early 2000s, right? So that label folded. And so we were just like free agents at the time and, you know, getting our stuff together. And a couple years later, we started Full Plate in 2013. And everything was weird too, right? Because there was no streaming. There was no social media. There was no Spotify. There was nothing. It was, y'all remember this shit. It was like a no man.
Yeah, right, no doubt.
06 to 09.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it was like MySpace. Put your shit up on MySpace and put a link in the you know what I mean? And like sell CDs. And that was actually kind of straight, but you couldn't sell files. You couldn't. So there was really no model of what to do and no way to start up without no money. You know what I mean? Like now anybody can get on DistroKid and get it popping.
Right. Yeah.
And even the technology, Serato was still new. Pro Tools was a grip. You had to have a banging ass computer. You had to have the hardware and all that. So it was still a higher level of entry. You know what I mean? Cost of entry or whatever. So that's kind of in the delay. We were just putting out mixtapes and shit, just like everybody. It was the blog era, right? We were trying to get the blog shit popping. Potholes in my blog and you know, Two Dope Boys. God forbid they finally tweeted something of mine, like the song we did with Blue and J57. I was like,
really?
I didn't call my mom. I just screenshotted it and didn't even send it to nobody. I just have it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, damn. You know, so I'm straying off topic, but the caliber of MCs that I come from, we come from Jacksonville is a wild scene because it's a lot of up north transplants. And Peyton Lott, and then Willie Evans Jr., who's the other anchor of Asimov and the anchor of Full Plate. He's a producer, crazy MC, and he's crazy with the visuals. He's like, he's been video chopping since like 99. He's been rapping with the projectors since the early 2000s. And he toured with like Lift and was doing like Mr. Lift's visuals. And Willie Evans been all over some shit. You know, he's crazy, and you know that's my partner. I see Tucson. Okay, I got the chat open. Respect. Yeah, Willie Evans Jr. is insane. Y'all just YouTube some shit because he raps with a projector, and he raps like with the projector. Bruh.
That's dope.
Yeah. So
that's fire.
And you know, these are my heroes, right? Because I was like the young buck. You see my energy. You see I'm hyped. And I was like the young buck coming up and like real anxious and trying to get at it. And like, you know, so they took me under their wing and they calm your ass down. You'll find out what it's like. And I did. Yeah. But yeah, man. So that's the caliber of MCs that's
dope.
Strictly, you know, and I gotta mention Quasar. I don't know if you're typical cats, Chicago, right?
Yeah, Quasar, no doubt.
So Quasar, you know, through Bat Sauce, who is the other like main producer at Full Plate and the other partner at Full Plate. Bat Sauce is super tight with Quasar and it's toured with him extensively. They got like 3 albums. We just put out one last year through Full Plate. That's called Stone Giant. That's got Quell on there, another Chi-Town monster. I don't know if y'all know Hell Sent, who is one of Quasar's like under Quasar's wing.
I think I heard him too. Yeah, no doubt.
And so you know, we're repressing the first Bat Sauce and Quasar project through Full Plate that came out through G4 like 10 years ago.
Yeah, I remember G4.
Okay, so
Okay.
Yeah, man, Chi-Town Connect, so
No doubt.
yeah, man, that's
up?
like that's the full plate, like,
Right.
like and it's evolving. We also there's a crazy group out of Atlanta called the Difference Machine, and they're
Okay.
like the psychedelic hip hop outfit. They're
Wow.
insane, dog. It's a
Wow.
live band, but with like my man Day Tripper is the MC, and he's spitting some ridiculous shit, and he runs it through an echo box, and he's crazy. That's all
Wow.
I can
Yeah.
that's who that's who we working with.
Yeah.
That's dope.
That's dope. You mentioned Asimov, and I wanted to bring in Toussaint, who said that their And Now album is one of the greatest albums many people have never heard.
Respect.
Yeah, no doubt.
Heard
They
that
made
a
some
lot.
great-
I have to agree. It's an incredible album. If you haven't, I highly recommend. I believe it's on all the streamers.
I think it is.
It's up there. Asimov, early 2000s. That's Peyton Locke, Willie Evans Jr., Jay Wonder, and DJ Basic, who also rhymes. But he's also a huge DJ in the b-boy world, in the b-boy circuit, and they're all like vinyl gods. And,
wow.
Serious record bosses that make their livings off flipping records and digging, and that's their life. DJ Basic, respect, LGA. Yeah, no, but the Asimov record, they got Ninth Wonder on there. Asimov and Little Brother were originally label mates. Okay.
Oh, really?
Through 6 Hole.
Oh, wow.
Right.
Okay.
6 Hole Records, and that's in Jacksonville. That's my man Desi. That's the king right there. Desi was a pro ball player, baseball.
Oh, wow.
And the 6 Hole is what? Shortstop. That's the position. And so he had a label, and he put out Asimov, and he also was putting out the Carolina Collective, early Justice League.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's if you look it up too, like it's probably on YouTube. It's like 6 Hole mixtape, and there's early Little Brother tracks, early Asimov. They were all on the same label, and then things kind of just moved how they moved.
Yeah.
Asimov got sued by the estate of Isaac Asimov, the author.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they got the cease and desist.
Wow.
Dang. Is that why they stopped?
Well, they changed their name to the ABs, which was the Alias Brothers. So look for that. Type that in too, if y'all are out there. I know there's a lot of diggers and audiophiles out there. They were the ABs, the Alias Brothers, for a short stint, but that was kind of the, cats got married, cats had kids, Toussaint knows. I see you.
Yep.
Respect.
He knows his history.
Peyton was from Chicago. That's where he grew up originally. Before he moved to Boston.
Okay.
Nice.
Yup.
That's what's up.
He talks about Val's Holla, right? The record shop, the legendary, right?
Yeah.
I heard she passed recently too. Respect. Yeah. Rest in peace.
Wow. Rest in peace. Yeah. No doubt. Wow.
So you mentioned Little Brother. I'm curious to know, you were getting into it as a young buck, a lot of energy, did some touring, met some people. Aside from meeting Iomas Marat tonight, was there any artist that like you were just like super pumped to meet? Like, whoa, I can't believe I'm in this person's presence.
A lot of times, man. The time I met Biz Markie was incredible.
Whoa.
It was so brief.
Yes.
It was like the second or third A3C hip hop festival in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And I had the honor of picking up Acrobatic from the airport, my big brother. We're like real tight now, but this is like early on, and I was still like the young boy. I was like 23. And Ack was on his I think he was like playing football in like a league, bro, like he was like super, and I was like, what's up? But I wore my Asimov shirt. He knew the time. Acrobatics on the Asimov album.
Dope.
Yeah, as well as Wordsworth.
Oh wow.
No, that's the homie.
De La.
Yeah.
But
Wait, you said De La?
J Live.
Oh, J Live. Oh yeah. J Live is a cool dude.
Oh
bro.
yeah, that's the homie, man. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
they're good people, man.
So I got Acrobatic with me, and I'm taking him to his hotel, and we're walking in the lobby, and boom, there he is, larger than life, bro. It's Biz Marquee, dog.
Wow.
And just right there, and acts like, "Yo, Biz." Oh, he's like, "We used to do the Biz dance," and he starts like acting like he's gonna do it, and then Biz is like, "I swear to God, he did just like this." He goes, "Come on!" I was like, "No, that's for real." That was super tight. Yeah, that was definitely. And then I'll say one more because
Go ahead.
Triggered a memory too of DJing for Super Dave West for his Beat album release party. Shout out Super Dave, one of my closest friends. That's my brother right there. For his beatboxing release party in 2016, right? So already Pasta Noose was there, and we're in like a tiny ass dive bar in Atlanta. You know what I mean? And it's Pasta on stage rhyming with I'm like DJing for them, and I'm like, it's already like a surreal fucking night, right? And then at the end of the night, I got my head down like this. I'm packing up my DJ equipment, right? I just keep my head down, like, gotta get off stage quick, gotta get, and I see a hand, you know, like as a DJ, I know y'all know out there, or if you work in like the service industry or something, you're a bartender, you turn that shit off. You turn off the peripheral. People trying to get your attention, you're like, I don't see you. I don't hear you. You know what I mean? So I was in my little mode, right? And I see a hand in front of me, and I'm like, I look up, Andre 3000.
Yo.
And he's like, hey, bro. And this is like 2016, right? So he was in like full like recluse mode. Remember, he would be like popping up like Andre 3000 is on a train track. Mailing a message in a bottle. You know what I mean? Like, so he had the orange beanie and like he had the crazy shades on, you know, the 60s shit he be doing. And I was like, he's like, hey brother, I gotta say you did a great job tonight. I was like, oh!
Wow.
Yeah, those are two off the top of my head, man. Not to be long.
No, that's great, man. So
yeah, he got to meet my favorite MC of all times, man.
Andre.
Bro, no, man. Pasta Noose.
Oh, no doubt.
Pasta Noose. It's my favorite too.
Yeah, man.
So I gotta ask you,
cool dude, man. He is exactly who you would think he would be.
Yeah, humble cat, bro.
Like, very humble.
Yeah.
Extremely chill. Actually, yeah. I've been over to his crib and I shot basketball on his basketball goal.
Really? What was that like?
It was tight. I was like 5 for 8.
That's not bad. What was he?
He wasn't home yet. That's why I had to stop shooting.
That's hilarious, man.
Only Dillon. we gotta write a book on that.
Hey, baby, this is what you get on the boom bap cat. It's like drink champs, but with LaCroix.
Yeah. Hey, Dillon shot ball on Pasta Noose's court while he wasn't home, man.
You know what I'm saying? I happened to have you gotta keep the ball in the trunk, and it was
all right. So, but tell us, I'm intrigued by this. Did he see you when he got home? Were you with someone that knew him?
Yeah.
Wait, first of all, was you over there? Did you have permission to come over?
Yeah, we're good.
I'm joking.
Tell us more. We want to know about the story.
I gotta hear this.
Yes.
I didn't make pancakes. Although I would have had the ingredients been readily available.
All right. So tell me.
Jump in here. What can we do? Can I be myself?
You can be yourself. So what happened when he got home?
Huh?
What happened when he got home?
Oh, we was chilling.
He didn't like jump out and start playing ball with you?
Yeah. What's the next question though?
While we're on pause, let me ask you, because we're working on this book, the Native Tongues review.
Yes, I saw that.
Yeah.
Props to that. I'm gonna go pre-order that shit. Y'all do it. Y'all do that too. Is it up for pre-order?
It's not up for pre-order yet, but that's coming.
Damn.
It's coming
Well,
soon.
I'll be waiting.
Yeah.
I see it.
Thank you. So one of the things we're trying to track down is who is and is not in the Native Tongues officially. And from your experiences and all your travels, do you have a list of Native Tongue members that you're like, yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the list?
I mean, I could probably nerd out with y'all and come up with the running. I mean, you have the core, right?
Yep.
You got Tribe.
Yep.
You got De La.
Yeah.
You got Black Sheep.
Yep.
You got the JBs, right? Yeah. Would we say that's the core four?
Well, I would say Boney Love and Queen Latifah.
Yeah, Boney and Queen Latifah.
Okay, so all right. But as far as the groups, right? That's the core four groups. Core four, right?
Core
and
four
then there's
groups.
a lot of, Busta Rhymes is Native Tongues. Is he not?
See, this is what I don't know.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah,
he kind of is like a high. Like I feel like, and then who else? You got Chi Ali.
Yeah, I often hear Chi Ali is in there.
Yeah.
Right.
Remember? Oh yeah, we talked about the Beat Nuts too.
Yeah,
Beat Nuts. I was gonna say them. Yeah, Beat Nuts.
Some people say Brand Nubian. Some people don't.
Yeah.
Some people say Brand
Nubian. That might be. Have
you not heard that one?
Through the fans, I wonder, because that's because even geographically, because they were interesting.
Yeah, I know. I thought that was interesting too when I heard that.
Me too.
I was like, I don't think they were.
Grand Poobah?
Yeah.
Like it would have to be maybe through Poobah specifically. I
don't know.
Yeah.
Or maybe even Sadat X and Lord Jamar, because they were the ones that was on the business. Grand Poobah wasn't on the business.
Right. Great. Yeah. Okay. See, look at that. There it is.
Vinny Mojica.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
that's
you,
the first. That's the first person that said Vinny. I could definitely see it.
Nice. Mercury Storm Peace, bro. That's my ATL bro right there. Yes, sir. Vinny. Yeah, that's a great.
Yeah, Vinny Mojica.
Would you say Shorty No Mas?
Yeah.
Shorty No Mas.
Definitely, right?
Yeah.
And she was like part of the clique, like the extended.
So look, but we can, like you said, nerd out and talk about this, but what we need to do, look, you need to go back over to Paz's house. Play some basketball and then ask him
about that shit.
What he say on that song? He's like, what he said, they asked me about the Native tongue. Don't nag me about it. On the
you know what I'm saying?
On the song he did with Madlib's little brother. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, right.
Don't nag me about it. Just know that what he said, just know that something, and that the industry love something is rare. Like he was dropping subliminals all in that boy.
Yeah, bro.
Pop snapped on that song.
I think it's kind of like, titles like the boom bap. It's like it does serve a purpose, but who's to say what is and isn't boom bap? And it's kind of like it's fluid, it kind of meanders a little bit. And I think that's kind of how the Native Tongues were. They weren't like crystal clear and like these are the paying dues. These are the members. It was just like they were having fun making music, and they weren't real strict about it. But the fans, then put these parameters.
I'm literally leaning in here because I'm Googling on the side. No shit.
Do it, man.
Because I'm like, is there anybody I'm forgetting? But what I was gonna say was, is a lot of this shit is like the fans kind of determine, like what they think it is,
right?
And then Black Sheep was already Black Sheep. That's why they were called Black Sheep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so there's even the essence of them being a black sheep of Native tongues and like, you know what I mean? So. Yeah, I think it's a loose structure that took off, and the fans kind of made it into something else. Otherwise, there would have been an official Native Tongues album.
Right.
It should have been an official Native Tongues tour.
Oh,
I know they was working on that. Well, it was talks.
Drez
About
talked about it like, I don't know, 5 years
Yeah.
ago about
Yeah.
wanting to do it.
Okay, and did you peep Evitan? You remember that?
Remember
Which was
Evitan?
Drez
Yep.
and Jerobi.
Yeah.
Oh
That was
snap!
dope.
Yeah.
Peyton Locke
Which
had
his name is
production
spelled
on that,
backwards.
did he?
Peyton
Right.
did a couple beats on Evitan.
Yeah.
Wow.
Peyton did a handful of beats for Drez.
I love
Real tight with
Tucson keep
Drez.
coming up with yep.
Yep.
Everything you say, Tucson like yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Shout
You
out to
know,
Tucson.
bro. Where you from, bro? Where you from, Tucson? Respect, bro.
Yeah. And then
Merc
Mercury.
said I heard
My
Most
bad.
Def is a member.
Most Def.
Yep,
Yeah,
Mos
I've heard
Def.
that too.
But you know what? It makes sense that Most Def too, because you know and you know what? I man, that's a question I'm gonna ask Words too, because you know
Yeah.
Words.
I was gonna
spent
say some words.
Yeah, he spent a lot.
Yeah.
You know, and they cool with Tribe and all of that too.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I mean,
Dilla count as
That's
a
a
member.
good one.
Yeah.
Well,
I
Dilla
would
was
say,
the Uma, right? And the Uma was almost like post-native tongues.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That was Q-Tip kind of
Yeah.
taking charge and kind of re-emerging and taking, you know, basically, you know, incorporating the sound of Dilla.
Yeah.
Right.
And so I would say the Uma is like post-native tongues, even though, you know what, that Uma kind of emerged on Beats, Rhymes, and Life.
Yeah.
And even by then, Native Tongues was kind of like
they was
early '90s shit. They were.
I mean, they was kind of disbanded when because what's the line that Pastor New said? Because the Native Tongue has now been reinstated. No stakes is high. Like they had they kind of like they falling out because they were really going in on Native Tongue because he's like that Native Tongue stuff is dead on the Balloon Mind State.
Right.
He was going in like subliminals all through that boy. Like I don't know what happened, but they must have had fallen out by then.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
I've said it many, many times that this year, 2022, is the year of the Native Tongues, more so than any other year since, you know, those 90s heydays. Because there's like, obviously, Fife has his album coming out. Rest in peace to Fife.
Yeah.
Shorty No Mas put out an album. I mean, it was in, I think, December, November, but it was Paving the Way. I believe Moni Love has an album coming out, which would be super dope. And my man Toussaint reminded us that Drez has like 5 EPs coming out. He's got the joint with, he does. He's got some.
Got the joint
EPs.
with Dilla.
He's got the joint with Stu Bangers coming. I think he did some stuff with other. Yeah. So there's a lot of
confirm that he's on the next Dillon and Peyton Locke album.
Who is? I'm sorry.
Drez is.
Oh wow.
Word.
He was on Food Chain and he's on the next one.
Nice.
Yup. Shout out Steve. What up, bro? Duval.
Shout out.
You already know. Tucson's from Georgia, bro. You from Atlanta, bro? Where you from, dog? Is that my burner account?
Yes. Oh, Ian is. Shout out to Ian. He's confirming.
Yo, that's the hip hop informer right there, bro. Respect, bro.
Yeah, Ian is the man. Hey,
thanks for keeping us in the know, my bro.
Dillon, question for you. You started doing some touring. At what point are the rumors true that on stage you will sometimes cook meals for your audience? Is this true?
Oh, bro, panini is mandatory, bro. That's
Paninis.
what I do, bro.
Wow.
It's the most delicious gimmick you could ever have.
So what sparked this? What initially got you going?
I needed a gimmick. There it is. Nah, it was literally like I was like, I need some shit to do during the set just to mix it up. And shout out to Super Dave West. It was actually his idea. He gave me that idea.
Wow.
Years ago. And shout out to Boog Brown. The first time I ever did it was at her album release party.
Oh, word.
Wow.
I believe YU was there too, down from DC. Respect.
Yeah.
That was a crazy night.
He's dope.
Wow.
Yeah, Boog Brown had a pajama party in Atlanta in December with me and YU, and I was like making sandwiches in like a bathrobe, rapping and shit. Yeah,
that's great.
That is great, man. That's great.
Yeah, that was like 2015 or something. It's crazy.
Wow.
Time.
Do you do it most of the time when you perform, or is it just every time?
Mando.
Really?
So how
I
do
almost
you
busted it out for tonight.
how do you do that? Like what do you have on stage?
I got my trusty panini press.
Wow.
Oh, you
That's
seen the new
crazy,
panini
bro.
toaster joint that like $400, man. It takes the little panini thing down in the toaster, man, and hook it all up out of your panini press, man.
Man, that's crazy,
I
bro.
might have
That's
to get
dope.
that. I might have to
It's called a
upgrade,
Rev
dog.
Cool. Yeah,
No doubt.
it's called a Rev Cool, man. Look it up, revcool.com.
Wow.
See, that's what I'm talking about. We are getting some panini talk in the boom bap chat.
The
Right?
panini
Right.
game on point.
Ah! Yeah,
How
no,
does
it's a
it?
good time. I got a little song and dance with it. You know, the album was called Food Chain when I was doing that. And,
Yeah.
you know, we go food chain. So everybody sing along and then you get a
Yeah.
sandwich. It's a good
That's
time.
dope.
They're
That's dope.
vegetarian.
That was the
Wow.
that's dope. That was the album that I first discovered you and Peyton Locke.
Oh,
And
respect.
I'm not sure how I found the album, but I remember seeing Drez and Super Dave West. And I was like, oh, snap, I gotta check this out. And
Word up.
the album, you know, you're talking about Native Tongues. That album, Food Chain, it actually reminded me of the Native Tongues, just the way it was put together. You know, like those early, like especially De La Soul albums, like those were experiences. You know, like they were well crafted albums that went somewhere, you know, musically, and everything kind of flowed together. And they were interesting albums. That's what I got from Food Chain. Like it was an interesting album. It wasn't just like songs that were dope, but it was an interesting project, you know?
Man, thank you for saying that, bro.
Yeah.
That's, you know, because I'm a student of Native Tongues, you know, and obviously so is P. You know, P was born in what, 74. So, you know, that was his prime time and he was all about it. You know, Tribe was his favorite shit. De La was his favorite shit. You know, KMD, all that early, you know, early 90s eclectic type. So yeah, you know, as far as the album, like that's my taste and try to put it together. I try to make albums, man. Like I'm still about that, and like everything is very nitpicky down to the way every song ends and the way they flow into the next, all the transitions. You know, I approach it as a DJ too. You know what I mean? So it's like the way the shit flows, it's got to sound right, it's got to feel right. Build, peak, come back down, all that.
Right.
And you know, P added some crazy interludes and beat switches at the very end, you know, and some little shit like that. And yeah, that's a special piece for me. I appreciate you bringing that one up. Y'all check out Food Chain if you never heard it.
It's a super dope album. And I want to bring in a question from Toussaint. He asked, any more Martha Knuckles joints coming?
Man, okay, Toussaint knows. That's what's up, man. If y'all don't know Martha Knuckles, that's me and Boog Brown, right? So we got a group. Shout out Boog Brown. If y'all know Boog Brown, Detroit's finest, you know, super dope MC. She's been my friend for a long time, even before she started rhyming. I've been knowing Boog. And yeah, she, you know, I was actually born in Ann Arbor, Michigan, in Ypsilanti, and she went to school. She went to EMU, Eastern Michigan, and that's like where I went to kindergarten and shit. So, so me and Boog, that's what's up. That's my homie. And so we put out a 4-track EP in like 2013.
Okay.
It's a 45. It's on the streamers too. Look up Martha Knuckles. And we got my man Anthony Accurate on the beats, who's a crazy beat maker. He's a recluse. But he's like a beat genius, man. If you ask anybody who knows, man, he's from Philly originally. And he was in the original Beat Society clique. If you know original Beat Society. Like Hezekiah, Slop Funk Dust. I think who am I? Illmind. You know what I mean? Like, Ninth Wonder was down. This is like early 2010s when Beat Society was doing like kind of some of the first, like I believe Nicolay was out there. Like this is like the first like beat roundtables before it was like people coming out with their beat machines and like playing beats off the machine. You know what I mean? Like before, now everybody be doing beat sets and they got the 404 and everybody got the, you know what I mean? But back then it wasn't really like that. Like beat shows and beat performances and They weren't doing it like that. So they were some of the first. And Ant Accurate's from that school. He's crazy. He did some work for Diamond D on the Hugh Hefner album. I did a couple beats on there. And then he did an incredible song for Hezekiah that's featuring Bilal.
Wow.
It's called Rise Up, or somebody knows. Somebody, Ian Charles knows. Y'all gotta look this shit up. It was on like VH1, like they had a video for it. It was like it broke through a little bit, and the song is incredible, and you probably never heard it, but it's an ill, soulful, like thumper. But anyway, that's a long ass winded answer to say nah. But I will say this. So I've been on a kick at Full Plate. We've been trying to do, we've been honoring the 10 years that we hit 10-year benchmarks on projects and albums, and we try and look back on it, and give it a proper treatment, because 10 years ago there wasn't no social media, all that yada yada. So 2023, I am looking at a reissue of the original Martha Knuckles project, in addition to the Lost album. I've never said this. See, you're getting exclusive.
Whoa, exclusive.
Hold on, let me get my. You're getting exclusives. There's a Lost Martha Knuckles album that we did that we never got to finishing and putting out, that I do want to release in 2023.
All right.
Lost Joints, yes.
Yeah.
It's all produced by Ant Accurate, and there's one joint produced by Peyton Locke.
All right. So there you go, Toussaint. So, he's looking for that one. He's looking for it.
I got to get my shit together. But Boog just hit me up about it too. So
that's dope.
We've been keeping up. Her birthday was a couple days ago, so we've been chopping it up.
So that's coming next year. But next month, something's dropping. Something that's super dope. Peyton Locke, new album.
Bro.
Americancer.
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 Wow.
Dropping one at March
15th.
15th. Can you tell us a little bit about that project?
Right. So respect due, rest in peace to my brother Peyton Locke, my partner in Full Plate. For those who didn't know, toured extensively with Edon. If y'all don't know Edon is one of the most electrifying, incredible live performers in rap that you can get.
Wow.
And so he's on that caliber of, triple threat, beats, raps, scratches, digging, record god. So this is one of his first official posthumous albums. Okay. And the name Americancer is crazy, right? Because he passed of cancer in 2019. But when he got the diagnosis for it, it was like in July of 2019, right? Or a little earlier. But it was in that same year. But Americancer was been done, finished, completed 2017.
Really?
Wow.
So it had nothing to do with, you know what I mean? And I'll also say this, because those who know, and those who don't, they'll find out now. But he had two companion albums, right? That were both done in 2017, and he was just caught up with which songs to put where and how to finally arrange it. And he would never, it's a struggle to complete shit. You know what I'm saying? I know you MCs out there know that that last 5% of a project, dog, could take 5 years. It could take as long as it takes. And unfortunately, he didn't have as long as it took. But they were both done in 2017. Wow. One was Americancer. The other is Dance on My Grave.
Oh wow!
Done.
Dang.
Diagnosis is 2019, July.
Wow.
So, it's some crazy prophetic energy and like some crazy energy that's in there. You know what I mean? So that's so the Americancer is a little more stark, a little more somber.
Yeah.
And Dance on My Grave is like the end of the book. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
this
Wow.
first album, there's 2 singles that are out right now
Mm-hmm.
that you can stream on the Spotties or whatever you get your shit. One is called Oodles of Nose, which is
Yes.
he's De La tribute. It's right
Yes.
there. You know what I mean? So
Yep.
he was a super De La head.
Wow.
And then there's another joint called Wrong Soup. Tucson
yeah.
knows he's saying he's loving the Wrong Soup. That's that shit is crazy. So you can check those out right now. And if you go to planetlock.com, that's like the link tree that we got crazy merch on the Bandcamp. Vinyl, CD, cassette. We made mugs. We made hot tea
so
bags. We partnered with a tea company and made tea because Peyton drunk tea like that was his favorite shit. Always had
really?
a cup of tea. You know what I mean? So,
Wow.
but yeah, and it's if you go to planetlock.com, it's got all the streaming sites and however you want to ingest the audio dope.
Yeah, audio dope.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's featuring Edon, which is a stupid, wild, crazy song. Mr. Liff is on there, who Peyton went to school with Mr. Liff and acrobatic. He grew up with him in Boston. They went to Roxbury Latin School and went to school together and came up together early. And that's how P broke into the game. Outside of Asimov, he was the DJ for the Perceptionist. If y'all remember Perceptionist.
Yeah, I didn't realize he was a DJ for them.
Yeah, because all right, so dig this. Here's a little rap history. It's funny because I was just there, and Florida boys, we get it into. We were involved in some of this shit, But so what happened was, shout out Fax One, right? He was the beat maker and the DJ for Perceptionist, but he had a kid. He had a newborn, and so Acrobatic, I believe he reached out to Slop Funk Dust, who's Tampa. That's the homie, but Slop is the man. I just mentioned him with Beat Society, but a lot of people know Slop. He's that guy. He's a beat dude, a record dude, resident comedian, one of the funniest dudes on Facebook, like permanently banned on Facebook. One of those type of dudes. He's the homie. He was supposed to DJ for the Perceptionist, but I believe something happened. His mom had an accident or slipped or something, right? So he couldn't go. So then they called P because that Acrobatic and Lift, they went to school together,
right?
And bang, that they made it happen. So P, did the Bells, did all the Perceptionist touring of the heyday and the run they had, or I won't say all of it, but a lot of it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow. That's dope.
And then tour, with DJ for Ack and live separately at times and all that too. So
yeah, that's dope. That's dope. I have one more question about an album, but before that, Profound, Iomas, anything come to mind you want to ask about?
Nah, he just dropping so much.
I'm sorry if I'm talking too much, man.
No, man, you good,
There's not enough alcohol in this LaCroix, so I'm not being subdued.
No, you're good. I wanted to ask about your
I can listen to you talk all day, bro.
So my man Tucson says therapy, respect, man, respect, because that's Peyton's name is DJ Therapy.
Oh, right.
That's his early handle from Asimov and yup.
That's dope.
So
I wanted to ask you about another album, the album you put out most recently, the 83 Kids with J57. Thoroughly enjoyed that album. I know Profound was digging it.
Thank you.
Yeah. So a lot of your albums are a little bit longer,
right?
14, 15, 16, 17, 18, songs. This one's a lot shorter. It's 8 actual songs.
Yeah.
Interlude and intro. Flows really well. Was there intentionality around making it shorter? And it's
definitely.
Why did you do that?
I'm not one to follow trends, but the trend of a shorter album I'm fucking with, because that's a little bit less work, and we're trimming the fat like off the bone. You know what I mean? Like, it just kind of felt right for the time, and it was meant to be like, it was the first time that I received a batch of beats started writing, and within a year, it was out.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like of like getting the beats from the very first time, and then like to like finish, mix, master, artwork on Spotify. Vinyl was sent off 6 months beforehand. You know what I mean?
Oh,
So
wow.
it was really done 6 months in. You know what I mean?
That's
Because we
dope.
sent it off for vinyl in July. It should
Yeah.
be taking forever. So hence the brevity as well of just like but I do like the trend of I just feel like it's a lot to ask someone for 45 minutes of your time.
Yeah.
50 minutes.
Yeah, I still prefer a longer album if it's dope. But
yeah, because you like CDs, Till.
Yeah, that's true.
You're the
However,
CD boy. You know what I mean?
Totally.
Exactly.
Totally. I love CDs.
You're not 25, bro.
But I will say,
I feel you though. You're gonna love one of the next projects because that shit is too damn long.
But I do like these shorter albums because you know, with my life now, it's hard to listen to an album in its entirety anymore if it's a longer album.
A lot to ask.
Yeah, with everything going on. So being able to just like put this in and I can listen to the whole thing, you know, in one sitting and one drive from here to wherever. And it's just like, I like that. I like to be able to just, because I like albums and it doesn't it feels like an album. It doesn't feel like, oh, you just threw a little EP together. It feels like an album. And knowing you and what you've been talking about tonight, like there's a lot of intentionality around crafting an album, just a smaller one, shorter one.
I appreciate you, man. I'll tell you the formula right now. This is the way I do it. This is the way I do my shit. I'll break that down because it's real simple, right? You hear the 83 Kids, each song kind of has like a little format, right? There's the little braggy joint, there's the story, there's the girl joint.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? There's the story sometimes may have an element of whimsy or comedy, or it may have an element of thrilling and daringness, right? and then like maybe like a funky joint that like is kind of a little left fieldy, maybe cozy, and then like one more tough joint as an anchor, and then like the melancholy emotional track, right? Usually dedicated to family or a lost loved one, right? Those are the songs. That's basically, if you listen to the shit I do, those are kind of my themes, right? Everybody has themes, so I just keep trying to get better with the themes. So a longer version of that would have just been two of them shits, one that goes left and one that goes right, each theme, and just 2 times.
The other thing about this album, in addition to the dope concepts you just described, I think these are some of J57's best beats. I mean, he's never. I mean, he's no slouch on the production,
no doubt, and he's prolific as all get out.
But these are really good J57 beats.
Thank you, man. That means a lot.
Squeeze.
The squeeze. Oh man,
that's this. I've always thought, and if you ask Willie and Peyton, I feel like I've snaked the some of their best ever beats. You know, I got them for free. You know, but I have an ear for beats. I feel like that's one of my strengths. It makes up for where I would lack in rap skills, maybe. I feel like my catalog of my music, the beats, I like the beats, and I pick all my beats. I'm very specific. I mix all my own shit. I record all my own shit. I'm like extremely hands-on. You know what I mean? So yeah, Jay sent me a lot of beats, and you know, and I feel like I picked the best beats for our chemistry for sure.
You did, and you picked beats that worked well together. You know, these beats worked well.
I
wanted to ask you about one of the songs. Yeah, prime example. Can you tell us the inspiration behind that song? Because the song is hilarious, man. I love that song.
Oh, thank you, man. You know, it's just for me as a writer, I feel like any project that I put together, it gotta have one story, something. Just because I'm not a very interesting person. My life is not very interesting. You know what I mean? I don't have.
Could have fooled me.
Yeah,
I'm just a regular guy. So you know, the storytelling is a means for me to me. That's a flex of the pen. in a different way, right? If you can, because that as I listen to music like this, a story rhyme is like the hardest shit to pull off, dog.
Yeah.
To make it be cohesive and sound good and have a beginning, middle, and end, and there's a point, and there might even be a message or a moral or a second layer, and there's a dope hook. It's like, god damn, bro, like that's so much. So, you know, I always try to aim for that, and I also felt like there's a very comedic aspect of me and Jay. Like we're goofy, we're funny, we laugh a lot. We send each other Office memes and Michael Scott memes, and it's a lot of funny shit. So I wanted to have some funny shit that wasn't too goofy.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, and then also I'm pretty cranky in the morning, and I sit on my porch in my robe and I have my cup of coffee, and I stare into the horizon, contemplate the future, and then all of a sudden people show up with packages and it scares the shit out of me. And everybody now, everyone's got their ear pods in and they'll be on the phone, so they'll come up talking shit. Who the fuck are you talking to? What's going on? And obviously I got some other shit going on with how I tend to be outside and what I'm doing and all that. And so it just kind of it never happened in real life, but I feel like it's some shit that I would do when I get too
I love it. If you have not heard the song, go listen to it. It's called Prime Example. It's off of 83 Kids by Dillon and J557. Is it J57 or J57?
J57. Either
okay,
or,
good. Either or. All right.
Yeah, use it all.
Yeah.
That's what I say.
Right on. Man, it's a good album, so make sure y'all go get it. And
appreciate that. Yeah, shout out to Blue, who's on the album, which is a dream collaboration for me.
Yeah, man.
Man, it's one of my heroes. There's a crazy video that's out too that Bat Sauce animated.
Oh, dope.
Full plate. You know what I mean? Bat Sauce, this guy taught himself how to animate during the panty. So now now we got to pay his ass for something else. So, but check out the video, 83 Kids. The animation is pretty fun. Shout out Diamond D and Sky Zoo, also on the album, and J Zone, my man, playing drums on there too.
Oh, that's right. Which
one? Going by Jay Mumford, I'm sure.
Which one did he do drums on?
Soon. Like a musician and all that. He's crazy, bro.
Yeah, he's dope. Oh, Pendulum Swings.
Yes.
Is that the one he was on? Yeah. That joint, man. That joint. All of them.
You want another factoid?
Yes. Bring it.
Apparently, and this was from his mouth. This is what he said. We got the last beat he ever made.
He really? He's not making beats anymore?
Nah.
Huh. J-Zone?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Why?
He's full on with the drums.
Wow.
Full on with the drums.
Wow.
So we did a song called Rap Safari, which is a remix off of a Food Chain single. And we put out a 7-inch of it with our partners in the UK, this crew called AE Productions. Tom Caruana, and if y'all look up Tom Caruana, that dude's crazy, bro. British producer. He's on some shit. But J-Zone said it was the last beat he ever made.
That's crazy.
Not to say he'll never make a beat again, but
that's just the last one he made.
I kind of hope he doesn't, just so that we can keep the accolades. You know what I mean? But I might have to get that shit. Convince him to stop.
No more production from J-Zone. That's it.
Look at my Twitter profile.
Comedy, man.
Stop making beats. I said I'm the owner.
Right. That dude is funny too, man.
Yeah, Tucson knows. Yeah, those early J-Zone albums were sickness, no doubt. A great influence on me too. In college, I was a DJ in college, and I was a DJ since middle school. So I came into, since I've always been collecting records, been a fan, been a super geek nerd of collector, all that. And J-Zone definitely one of my early influences, and definitely like a Biz Markie type character. You know what I mean? Like a straight. A clown, but dead serious though. And J-Zone, you the man. One of my heroes.
Yeah,
Love that
man.
guy.
J-Zone's dope. So before we celebrate some classic albums and have some sharing around those, I did
Yeah.
want to bring in this comment from Clint Fuller and talk about this for a second. He said, lobster emoji, lobster emoji, lobster emoji, lobster emoji.
Oh, yeah.
So I think he's referring to as far as I'm concerned, aware of, the only rapping crustacean in the world, Lobsterdamus.
You're damn right. He took out all the crab MCs that I'm aware of.
And you found Lobsterdamus, yes? You discovered him?
He found me.
No, he found you.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about that?
Well, it's a long story, but to get right to it, basically, I was out to eat at a very nice establishment, and you know, the type with the tanks in the front and all that. And dude kind of like tapped on the tank and was like, "What's good? Let me hit that. I smell you, Playboy." I was walking in a little loud, and just kind of started from there. I just plucked his ass out and took him out to eat, and then he just started smoking all my weed, drinking all my champagne, and I had to take weed for him, and he was just recording at the crib.
Is he at the house now?
Yeah, he's probably around.
Okay, so for those that don't know, after the show, after we stop the live feed, we kind of hang around with the guests and just kind of chat and stuff, and we put that exclusive content to our Patreon supporters. Do you think Lobby Don would come out just for our Patreon supporters to say hello a little bit later?
Man, you know what? Lobby Dom don't do no favors for nobody. But I think he'll do a favor for everybody. You know what I'm saying? And the Boom Bap gang. I think I can get it.
You think you can do it? All right.
Yeah.
So if y'all want to see that, you need to go to Everybody's Hip Hop's Patreon. So just go to Patreon, type in Everybody's Hip Hop label, sign up. You sign up for $1. It's no biggie. And you get to see, well, if he comes, no promises, but he should come. You got Dillon's word, so check that out. All right, so
how cold the champagne is, you know what I mean? So.
right. Io, Profound, any last questions before we celebrate some albums?
I'm gonna say mine for Lobsterdamus.
Okay, all right, right on. All right, cool. So Dillon, what I want to do like a story time here with these albums. I want to show you an album cover. I'll name it for our podcast listeners. And I want to invite you to think about a moment in your life that comes to mind when you see this album cover.
It's like a rap Rorschach test. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Good. What comes to mind? Any stories that it conjures up about, this artist, or how you have experienced this artist, whatever. All right.
I'll try to be brief.
You're good. You're good. We mentioned it earlier. One of my favorite albums, actually my favorite album of all time. This is Balloon Mind State.
Oh,
De La Soul.
Yes. So, one of my all-time favorite albums, I know it front to back. Here's a fun factoid about that. I had a little boombox in my bathroom, and I had the tape of that, and my tape player broke, so it was stuck in there. So I listened to it every single day, like for 4 years.
Wow.
And not only that, then I got another copy, and I had it in the car, and my fucking tape car player broke. So that shit was stuck in my car when I was like 16, and the bathroom when I would wake up every day. So yeah, I was stuck on this album a lot. Literally stuck on it. It's a perfect album. I'd say it's a perfect album.
Going to the West Coast on this one. No Need for Alarm.
Oh,
Dell, the funky.
Yes. Yo, love that album, man. Love Dell, the crazy wordplay, the comedy. Yo, we should just ride around, and really bug out and smoke trees and vibe out. My favorite shit. Thank you. So we used to do like a routine to that. Me and my DJ Dirty Digits, back in the day where he would like juggle that beginning because it has open drums, like
Right.
and I would do like some thank you shout out at the shows. And shit. Yeah,
That's dope.
Shout
That's
out
dope.
to Dell, High Road Crew,
All right.
legendary.
Next one I think is very slept on. The Carnival.
Oh wow, yo, this is like Nardwuar. Yo, check it out, yo. A lot of people don't fuck with this album, maybe. I don't know. But this shit, where I grew up in Jacksonville, Florida, bro, it was not New York, bro. Like we whatever we got our hands on, whatever we could find, you know, we fucked with it. If they played it, we were rocking to it. And but this album, I love this shit, B.
I do too.
Apocalypse. Yo, and the skits, there's the great Pablo Diablo. We used to just rewind this shit. I had like the little boombox CD player with the rewind button. They had like the quick rewind. So you could just like Pablo Diablo. I used to love that shit, bro. All the skits, the way it flowed as an album. Even I gotta say this too, because I just DJ'd my best friend growing up, and this was our album. This was our shit. It was 8th grade for me you was just like home. Like, you know how shit used to bug you out when you were kids. But I played at his wedding like 2 months ago. I just DJ'd his wedding and I played Shang Fazi. That shit goes, "Be used to come ting my tune on Shang Fazi." Like the whole shit, just like Haitian Creole, the middle of the shit. I was like, yo, bro, you remember this shit? So yeah. Yep. Love it.
Dope album. Dope album. All right. This one is Pax by your old Drew.
Man, Drew, one of the modern day greats, man. Is there anybody that's fucking with Drew? Is there seriously? That's a question. I don't know, man. I think he's really tall, and tall people they have a lot of advantages. You know what I mean? I could tell. I said, God damn it. Yo, you're a problem. Love that shit. Yeah, bro. Shout out Edon. I think he did like 2 beats on that.
He did. Have you worked with Drew before?
I would love to. I have not. No. I've met him and kicked it with him. We did a show together at the A3C like 5 years ago, and he's super tight with Edon, who's a close friend, and he knew P. So maybe one day I'm putting that energy out in the universe.
There you go. Dope. I like it. All right, 2 more. Got The Shining. Smith & Wesson.
Oh, maybe one of the greatest albums of all time, bro. The production on this, the beat miners, they're in their bag, because my introduction was the Black Moon tape, right? And stage, because there was like this used tape shop, because there wasn't nowhere to go get music in Jacksonville, but there was this used tape shop, and I just found it, and I was like, this shit looks hip hop as fuck. Like, I was like 13, right? And I was like, oh my God, I'm in the car with my dad, like, don't front, this is it. Their sound, bro, that shit is undeniable, bro. The filter, that is one of the greatest rap records ever, dog. That was my college years for me. Yes. Oh shit.
Such a good album.
Okay, I do have a good story of DJing, opening up for Smith & Wesson, like right when I moved to Atlanta, and I was like so geeked, right? So it was me and my partner Slim Chance, and we're DJing for him, or DJing, warming up the crowd, right? Yeah. And none of the other acts showed up, and none of the other DJs showed up, so we had to keep playing. Instead of like an hour, we had to rock like 3 hours. Now this is the final days. There was no Serato.
Right.
For like an hour and a half, you know what I mean? But like, no, that wasn't going to cut it. So literally, we had to like take turns driving to our cribs during the set. We live like 5-10 minutes away to go get more records.
Oh my God!
To do the job, you know what I mean?
Wow.
Respect.
That's all. Did you meet him that night?
Yeah. They're very cool. Yeah, very humble dudes.
All right, last one here. Stunts, Blunts, and Hip Hop. Diamond D.
Probably the quintessential early not like it's on par with Midnight Marauders. Like the beats, the dog, like what Diamond was doing with using the bass lines, crazy bass lines, crazy drums, being the first to flip some of the most iconic records and to find some of the dopest digs, and to be a monster on the mic.
Yeah.
Is that Big L's first appearance on record ever? He's in the interlude.
That's that. Ian Charles. Can you confirm?
Is that Big L's? Diamond is, Diamond was instrumental in discovering Big L and bringing him on board.
Yeah, I don't know. And how did y'all meet? Because y'all worked together. You did an EP together. He's on your most recent album.
Shout out to Diamond D, man. One of my mentors and a very close friend. We have an album together called Black Tie Affair. Y'all check that out. We're working on another project right now. Actually, I can say they're here exclusive. And I do a lot of engineering for him and work for him. I did some scratches on the Gotham album with Kweli.
Okay.
And I was rapping on a song with Twista and shit on Dime Piece 2 and Afro. Wow, look at that. Crazy.
Wow.
Life.
That's awesome.
I love Diamond. He's the man. I've been knowing him for like almost 15 years now. And we clicked up. He used to come around. My old roommates, I used to live with a group called Collective Efforts. And he was working with them. And I had my studio going on. And we just connected from there. And we've been tight ever since.
Yeah. Man, that's dope. That's super dope, man. Cool. Yeah, man. Listen, Dillon, man, we really enjoyed having you on.
Yo, it's been my pleasure to be here, man.
Hey, man.
Our live time is coming to an end, but hopefully we're gonna get Lobsterdamus on here shortly for our Patreon supporters. But before you go find them, look for them. We always end the show with shout outs. So Iomas and Profound and I will give some shout outs, and then we'll throw it to you for the final shout outs of the night.
Love.
Iomas, Marad, who you want to shout out tonight, my man?
I'm sitting here listening to this Food Chain album, man. This joint is crazy.
My boy. Hey.
Good
dope, isn't
Lord,
it?
dog. Man, yo, shout out to the Food Chain, man.
Respect.
Shout out to my brother Dillon, man. Shout out to the Boom Bap Chat brothers. Shout out to Jacksonville or Duval. Shout out Duval. You know what I mean? Shout out Ian. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Toussaint. You know what I'm saying? Mercury, Steve, everybody that's tuned in. Man, you caught me up, man. Man, you talking about me, bro. You dope on the mic, bro. Like, dang, dog.
My man, no, that's
I
love,
you
bro.
Out here, G. Dang,
means
dog.
so
That's
much.
fire, bro. Respect, man. Respect.
Thank you.
And thank you for taking time to be on the show tonight, man. For real, bro.
No, it's my pleasure. Thank y'all for letting me come run my mouth, man.
Yeah, no doubt. That's a lot of history, bro. You've been putting in work, bro. A lot of history, bro.
That means so much, man. I appreciate it, man. Right back to you, man. No doubt.
For sure. That's love, though.
Thank you.
Thank you, Iomas. Profound. Shout outs.
Yeah, man.
Respect, shout out to Dillon. Shout out to Dillon. And man, I'm throwing a shout out to my mentors today, man. Master Ace, Wordsworth, definitely Doug Infinite and No ID. My brother, my Boom Bap Chat brothers, Till, Io, Bosto, Joe November. You know how we do it, man. And shout out to hip hop, man, and that everybody is still out here doing what they do, man, to keep it alive, man, and keep that boom bap. That's what it is.
No doubt.
Word up.
I want to shout out some folks that have been tuning in tonight. Ian Charles, I can't believe this. He said
the man.
The Beat Miners just produced an entire album for Queen's MC Truth that dropped today. So I'm going to be checking that out tonight when we get off. So shout out to Ian Charles. And apparently it was Lord Finesse that discovered Big L.
Well, there it is.
Mercury Storm says that Big L's first appearance was on Lord Finesse's album. So,
boom.
So there you go. Also, shout out to Mercury, Toussaint, everyone, Marcus that tunes in and checks us out every Thursday night. Steve, really appreciate you all. Shout out to our guests next Thursday, 1773. The group is going to be on. They just put out a really dope album, so we're going to be talking about that and more. Shout out to all of our Patreon supporters. And if you want to check out this Lobsterdamus interview, if we can snag them in here, make sure you go, sign up, get on that Everybody's Hip Hop label on Patreon. And shout out to everyone out there, paying attention to us and checking us out. And finally, as always, shout out to our guest, Dillon. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for being here. Appreciate all the dope music that you're putting out, have put out, continue to put out. So, man, thank you for being here tonight and for all that you do. And with that, we'll shoot it to you for the final shout outs.
Yo, listen, I got to shout out everybody that's in the chat. Yeah. Steve, Toussaint, Ian, Charles, my man Merc Storm, Marcus. You know what I mean? Thanks for tuning in and chiming in and listening. The homies, yo, till we go back, bro. I feel like we've been chatting and chopping it up, and shout out to Everybody's Hip Hop. I've been watching you grow the platform, unselfishly and with love from day one, and I'm a fan. You know what I mean? Profound. I'm just getting to know you, bro, but you stuck with me now, bro. So
yes, sir, brother.
I'm to do my due diligence, and I'm gonna be knowing all about you, bro. But much love. I appreciate the energy, man. Appreciate the Chi-Town representation. You know what I mean, and all the knowledge. You know what I mean. It's been a very fun day. Time to just sit and talk. And Ayamas Marad, yo, wow. Respect, bro. I didn't even know. You know what I mean? Big fan. And just appreciate getting to chop it up with all y'all. And yeah, man. Appreciate the knowledge and the wisdom and all the contributions. And God damn, man. I'm getting emotional. Shout out Everybody's Hip Hop. Shout out to the Patreon, man. If y'all got $1, drop $1 on it. It's worth it. Check out the books. You know what I mean? These cats are putting in work, putting it on paper. It means a lot to put something analog. You know what I mean? So respect, man.
Word.
When people say for the culture, it's like this is actually for the culture. Like, you know what I mean? Like literally, I feel like that phrase got like kind of snatched up, like most things do. But for the culture, man.
Yeah, man. No doubt. Thank you, Dillon. And on that note, we say peace.
Peace.